Hello, you multiplying wizards. Welcome back to Math. Mrs. Becker here. I've got some things that I'd like you to have for our lesson today. We are going to be doing an interactive notebook page. So as you can see, I've got 3 different colors. Make sure that they are colored pencils and that they are very different. I'd also like you to have a scissors, a regular pencil, your choice of a glue stick or some tape, your interactive notebook, and then your math packet. We are going to be going to the back of your math packet. You're going to look for IN, Interactive Notebook, in the very back, and it looks like this. Very, very gently rip that interactive notebook page out, and then you can put your math packet off to the side. So go ahead and grab those things, pause the video, and then we'll start in just a moment. All right, boys and girls, so really quickly, our I can statement for today, I'm going to be showing you another tool to use when you are multiplying. So our goal today is to learn another way to multiply numbers. Ultimately, you will have the choice in the end of deciding which way is the best fit for your math brain or for where you are as a learner. So this is another way I can multiply multi-digit numbers using what's called the standard algorithm. Now, standard algorithm, that is a very fancy word for just a standard method of multiplying the numbers in a certain way. And this is probably the way potentially that your mom and dad or grandma and grandpa maybe learned how to multiply. So this is the traditional way or standard way that a lot of people know how to multiply. You, on the other hand, have a couple different ways that you may choose to use. So in the table of content, we had area model that we did last time. I would like you to pause the video and write multiplication standard algorithm. I am on number 9 in my table of content. Yours may be the same, it might be one off, but just pause the video and write this in. Turn then to your next clean and open page. So I'm on my next clean page. I have my page 9 written in the upper left corner, and then I've also given it a title, Multiplication Standard Algorithm. Pause the video and go ahead and get that written. Now that you have that done, we are going to be doing one big cut for our paper here. So we're not going to make lots of small little ones. Just trim it down on the bottom, trim it down here, and then I trim a little bit off of the right margin and up at the top. So go ahead and trim yours down and then glue or tape it in. All right, before we begin learning the new way or standard algorithm, I just want to show you, this has a lot of like gobbledygook on it. I just want to show you what that problem would look like, maybe more of what you are accustomed to from last week. Last week, when we were doing the area model, our problems were mainly written horizontally. This is the vertical way of writing things. They mean the same thing. Now, I do want to honor the fact that last week, when we did problems like this was more of your setup, where you broke those numbers down and you were looking at multiplying and doing little mini parts and adding. I do want you to notice that this particular way of doing multiplication has some similarities, and I know that Mr. Swantz has a lesson that he is doing or is going to do, trying to link some similarities between this traditional algorithm and the way that you were accustomed to doing it. So let's get a start. All right, what I would like you to do to begin with, we are going to take our time and just do some tracing here. So I'm going to have you over this 3 in the ones position. I'm choosing my purple. I would like you to go ahead and trace over that circle with your purple right now. And then that represents our 1 position. And then our answers down below are also going to be written in purple. So we're going to take that circle number, and then we are going to multiply it by all of the triangles up here. So I'm just going to forget about this digit right here for right now. So I'm going to mark this with a circle, and the reason that we're doing this is so that these numbers really stick out to you, so that you can see I first multiply the circle by all of these numbers up on the top, and we're going to name these triangles. So I'm going to actually go to this 1, and with my orange, with your other color, I'd like you to put a triangle around each of the digits on the top number. All right, so now I have 3 times the 321. So what I'm going to do is each of these become its own little mini problem. So now I'm going to actually start with this circle, and I'm going to multiply each one of these top numbers by the circle. So circle times a triangle. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So circle number, the 3 times a 1. So 3 times 1, that is a 3. Now I'm going to multiply the circle by the next triangle. 3 times 2, that is a 6. And then I'm going to multiply the circle by the last triangle. That's a 3 times a 3. And that is going to be a 9. So you take that digit in the ones position and you multiply it by the ones position, then by the tens position, write your answer down, and then by the hundreds position, and then you write your answer down. Okay? And those would be our first little mini multiplication numbers. All right, so 963 is our answer for that one. Now, before we move on to our digit in the 10 position, we need to honor the circle that is there. So that is actually a placeholder for the 1 position. So before I move on and do any more, I need to actually drop this 0 or put that circle right here to hold that place value place. This is probably the part that kids and grown-ups sometimes forget to do. It is probably one of the most important parts. So don't forget to drop that 0 or put that little placeholder right down here. All right, so now I'm going to go to my third color. And once we are done multiplying by the 1 position, I'm going to just cover this up just so that it doesn't distract me. And if you noticed when we were multiplying by the 1 position, I actually had my hand over that. So sometimes it's helpful to just, at least when you're first learning this, to kind of hide the number that you are not looking at. So again, when we were doing the multiplication times just the 1 digit, I kind of hid that other number. So now we've honored that 0 and we've dropped it. I'm just going to cover this little digit up right here. And now in my 10 position, I'm going to put a little box around that, and this is going to be green. Go ahead and do that, and I'm going to do the exact same process. I'm going to multiply the 2 times the 1. I'm going to write my answer down here. I multiply square 2 times the triangle 2. I write my answer right there. I multiply my square in the 2 box right here times my triangle in the hundreds position right here, and I write my answer here. So let's go ahead and do that. 2 times 1 is my little mini problem, 2 times 1. If I'm not sure, I'm going to use that multiplication chart, but 2 times 1, that's a 2. Then I multiply 2 times 2 right here. That's going to be a 4. And then I'm going to multiply 2 times 3. That is a 6. And it might even be helpful for us to do these little arrows right here. And I probably should have done that with the purple one as well. So 3 times 1, and 3 times 2, and then 3 times the 3. Sorry about that, I kind of forgot about that piece. Pause the video and just make those colors, those little arrows there. That might be helpful. All right, so now we are all caught up. We have multiplied and have our little answers kind of ready to go. So step 1, we've multiplied each circle by the triangle, done. Step 2, we place the correct answers underneath, done. Then we drop that 0 to honor that 1's position. And now we multiply everything by the 10 position down here. The last thing that we are going to do, step number 4, we are going to add everything together. So this is like a little mini addition problem. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just add 3 plus 0, that is 3. 6 plus 2, that is my 8. 9 plus 4, that is 13. 3 down, carry up my 1. 6 plus 1, that is a 7. So 7,383. I'm going to quickly do my little estimate up here just to be in good practice. So 321, that would round to 300. 23 would round to 20. So my estimated answer would be about 6,000. So that would be reasonable. All right, we are going to actually try this on a clean sheet of paper. So you can get a piece of scratch paper or you can do it right in your notebook, but we're going to try this where you are actually drawing and doing. So pause the video, you can get your whiteboard or a piece of scratch paper, and we're going to give this a try. So if you have your whiteboard or if you're just doing it right in your notebook, that's fine. Could you please copy this problem down? 234 times 22. And I'm just going to look up at my top portion here and just kind of get my paper set up. So when I'm looking at this very first step here, I know that I am really not going to do anything with my 10 number to begin with. So I'm just going to kind of forget about that 10 number for just a moment. So I'm going to put a circle around my 1, and then I'm just going to make these guys into my little triangles right there. And making these triangles and circles, you will not need to do this once you get the hang of it. This is just to show you that each of these is its own little mini problem. All right, so once you have that set up, let's go ahead and do our multiplying. So 2 times 4, that is our 8. 2 times 3, that would be 6. And then 2 times 2, that would be our 4. Now, before I move on and multiply by my next number, I need to make sure that I'm honoring that 1 position by putting that 0 or that circle in that spot. So drop the 0, and then I'm just going to move my little height-o-meter, my little heighting guy, over to here. Now, this is going to become my square. So I've multiplied everything, my triangles by the circle. Now I'm going to multiply everything by the square right here. So put a little square around it, and I'm going to go ahead and start. Do make sure that you are lining things up nice and neat. All right, 2 times 4. Okay, that's an 8. Then I say 2 times 3. That's a 6. And then I say 2 times 2, which is a 4. I've got everything lined up nice and neat. My last step is to do my addition. So go ahead and add. I've got an 8. 8 plus 6, 14. Carry up your 1. 6 plus 4 plus 1 more, that's a 5. And then I have my 4 right here. Oh, wait, 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 1 more is 11. I'm so sorry. 1 more. I've got this totally backwards here. Hold on. 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 1 more is 11. My goodness, 1 down, and then I carry up my 1. And then 4 plus 1, that is 5. Now, this is my real answer, but I am going to check and see if my estimated answer is right. So 234 would round to 200 times a 20, and my estimated answer would be about 4,000, or in the thousands, and my answer is reasonable. So this is the standard algorithm. Drawing all of these squares and circles and triangles will eventually fade that out, but this is just another way to do multiplication. I hope you learned a lot today. Thanks so much, boys and girls.